What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. And today we officially have NFL schedule release. And this is just going to be my first thoughts, opinions, glances, and predictions for the 49ers schedule. And well, let's just get right into it. Our first game of the year is a home game against the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals had a great offseason. I think that will be a competitive game. And I think seeing the Cardinals week one is going to be really fun because I think we're going to see how Kyle Murray's developed. We're going to see Isaiah Simmons for the first time in the first game of the year, or first regular season game at least. We're going to see how Josh Jones plays in the NFL. We'll see a whole bunch of shit, and I'm just excited to play the Cardinals. I think that's going to be the way we fight with Seattle right now. I think that's what's going to be. I think it's going to be us and the Cardinals very soon. I think Seattle, always till Russell Wilson retires it. But that's gonna be a really fun game. It's a good way to start the year, get a division opponent at home. And then in weeks 2 and 3, we go to the Meadowlands. We're in New Jersey both times. We play New York Jets and New York Giants. The Jets there. I think they did get better. They got who they got in the draft. They had a really good draft, pretty sure. I know they got Denzel Mims. They got Mekhi Becton. They got some really nice draft picks. And I think the Jets are going to be an improved team. I don't know how good they'll be with Sam Darnold still being Sam Darnold and not, besides Denzel Mims, really. I mean, they got some pieces. I just don't know if it's going to be enough for them to, like, really break out. But I think they have a shot. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be still their coach, so that might be a failure. But we'll see how that goes. But the Jets, I don't know much. I just don't think the Jets are going to. If there's anyone who was AFC East, with the Patriots obviously being the Patriots now, there's the Jets, Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, and out of all those teams, I still think the Patriots are probably going to win the division. Anyways, yeah, so the Jets, we'll see how they play. They're obviously they're a young team still. I don't know. It just depends on how Sam Darnold does. Same thing for the Cardinals. Depends on how Kyler Murray's developing. But we'll see about those. And then another young quarterback, the New York Giants, Daniel Jones, week 3. Giants, I don't expect anything from them this year. They'd be a mediocre team at best, in my opinion. I don't have much faith in the Giants. They had a couple nice picks in the draft. They didn't do much in free agency. They signed Blake Martinez, which probably made their team worse, if anything. But I think Giants, there's not really much to talk about there. Giants aren't that good of a team, in my opinion. I think they'll be a bottom feeder again. And then week 4, our first primetime game. We have, I believe, 5 primetime games this season. And the first one is week 4 against the Philadelphia Eagles at home, which is good. I like playing Eagles at home. I do not want to travel to Philadelphia with all those fans and how insane they are. And honestly, just the Eagles being a good team in general. You don't want to play good teams on the road. But Eagles, I feel like we can handle the Eagles. The Eagles, I would say, are a really good team. It all depends on how they got, like, 6 receivers the offseason or something. It depends on how all those receivers combine together with Wentz. If Wentz can stay healthy, if the defense, it's getting older, defense getting older, if they can continue to play as well as they have been, be a steady, and with it being a primetime game, have all the lights on, have everybody watching us. It's going to be a big game for both teams. I'm expecting both teams to be pretty good this year. Obviously, I'm expecting the Niners to be good. Eagles, I think, will be underrated, honestly, because everybody hates on Wentz, or hates on Dak for that matter. I don't know why, but I think it'll be a good game. That's why it's on primetime. It's going to be a good game, and we'll see how it goes. And then week 5, we play, I'm assuming, the Tua Tagovailoa-led Miami Dolphins. I'm not expecting much from the Dolphins this year. If anything, Tua might be okay. I don't know. I just don't trust Tua. I don't trust the Dolphins to build a team around Tua that will actually help him succeed. But you never know what can happen. Maybe Tua breaks out and becomes the next Peyton Manning. I don't know. Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's going to be anything near those guys, but I mean, he's likely going to be a Dolphins starter this year. We'll see if Fitzpatrick gets there. Somehow fucking Rosen gets the starting job, but I'm not expecting much from the Dolphins this year either, even though they're in that really shitty AFC East. But who knows? And then week 6 is our second primetime game against the Rams at home on Sunday night again. And at the Rams, they're still a good team. They're still a good team. Goff, he's the worst quarterback in the division somehow. But that just says a lot about how good the division is if the worst quarterback is Jared Goff, who's somewhere between like 16 to 18 or so. So we have like top average, whatever, you get what I mean. But the Rams, they're still a good team. They're just not elite, and they're not going to make a Super Bowl anytime soon. They could make a push for the playoffs again like they did last year. They did lose Brandon Cooks. They still have Jalen Ramsey. I think they added a couple players in the draft. They got rid of Todd Gurley, which is honestly probably going to help them because Gurley's knee is screwed up. But we'll see how that goes. I think we should be able to handle the Rams. Pretty sure we swept them last year. We could sweep them this year again, in my opinion. But on Sunday night, I mean, primetime games are crazy. Of all the bright lights and everything, just all the eyes on you. Sometimes it'll get to your head. I don't think we'll get our team's head because last year was insane. But, I think we can handle the Rams. But this is the start of like a really rough stretch. The Rams game right here, that's the start of a rough stretch. We have Sunday night, and then week 7, we play against the New England Patriots in New England, in Foxborough. That's not going to be fun. I don't care if the Patriots starting quarterback is Jarrett Stidham. I don't care if it's Brian Hoyer. I don't care if they sign some guy off the street. I don't care if somehow they trade for like DeShone Kizer or signed DeShone Kizer. He just got cut, right? I don't care if DeShone Kizer's their quarterback. Patriots are always going to be a team that's going to compete. There's going to be a team you're going to battle with. They'll always put in a hard fight. They have Belichick, who is basically God at this point. And just, it's going to be a really tough game, especially in Foxborough. And that's not, you don't want to play against New England. You just don't. And in Foxborough, obviously. Even at home, like you just don't like playing the Patriots. This is the first time in my life they're going to be without Tom Brady, so we'll see how they do there. It could end up being an easy game in the end, but you never know with New England. They're insane. And just their entire organization and program, their mentality is insane. But that's week 7. Week 8 is at Seattle, another game that's not going to be fun at all. Obviously, Seattle, they're extremely competitive. They're always in like every game. No matter what, it's always going to be a one-score game when you're Seattle. In Seattle, they'll play against who's a really bad team. They'll play against the Jags. They'll win by 3, and then they'll play against, say, the Niners. They'll lose by 1 or win by 4. It's just Seattle only plays close, hard, competitive games, no matter how good or bad the team is. And Russell Wilson, I just hate playing against him. He is too good for his own right, and I just don't like playing him. Every game against Seattle is going to be a competitive game, and as we saw last year, there's a lot of drama in those Seattle games. So we'll see how that one goes. I'm assuming it's going to be another dramatic ending. Maybe not as dramatic as Big Play Dre or as dramatic as the field goal going wide left into the locker room, but you never know with Seattle. You never know against Seattle, especially in Seattle too. That's the worst part about it, being in Seattle with all their extremely, extremely loud fans. And then in week 9, we have a short week. On Thursday night, we have to play against Green Bay after we play Seattle. Thankfully, it's Green Bay and not New Orleans, so we play the next week. But even then, it's still a short week. The Packers, even though I think they got worse as a team this year, I think they'll end up, they're still a good team. They have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. Even if they try to become this running team, Aaron Jones is a great running back. They have a good offensive line. But I still think as long as we don't let the short week get too big into us, like if we just stay healthy somehow, just stay. I don't even know. But it's just a short week. It's always going to be a tough game when you have a short week. I really don't like playing on Thursday, especially in this stretch like this. We play Rams at New England, at Seattle, then go to Green Bay on a short week, then travel to New Orleans, and then travel to Los Angeles, even the Bills on Monday night. That's a hard game. because the Bills, they're always committed too. So like, it's a really rough stretch of games. At least have a bye in the middle, but still, you just don't like playing on short weeks against good football teams. And as much as I trash on the Packers for having probably the worst draft ever, they're still a good team. They have an elite defense. They have a great running game. They still have Aaron Rodgers. They have Devontae Adams. They're a good team. I don't know if they'll be as good as they were last year, obviously, but we'll see. And then week 10, as I alluded to, we're going to New Orleans. At least we have time to prepare for this game. We have 10 days in between the Packers game and the Saints game. Hopefully use that time to get healthy and just hopefully we're coming off a win against the Packers. We're all excited, energetic, ready to get into New Orleans and win that one as well. But always, I don't know why we have to go to New Orleans again. Have to go to the Superdome, but that sucks. But you know, we beat them last year. Very close game. Obviously, we got a very big play from Kittle at the end. They got us. Some people call a fluke win. I think it was just a great play by Kittle, and it was just destined to happen. But it's always going to be competitive against Drew Brees, Sean Payton. That offense, even their defense is still good, even though we scored 48 on them, it's still good defense. And just in general, the Saints are a tough team to play. And then we have our bye week in week 11, which I'm fine with that. I like having later bye weeks because it gives you time to get healthy later in the year when you really need it. But nice. I don't know. But that's our bye week 11. Following the Saints game, then we go to Los Angeles to play the Rams, our division rival. It's I believe our last. Well, we already played the Rams earlier, and this will be our final game against the Rams. And I already talked about the Rams. I don't know, but going to LA, so every game is the division rival is going to be competitive, and especially going on the road, it's always competitive there too, or it's always harder to play on the road at least. At least usually it is, but you never know. It's the Rams. I think we played a couple close games against them last year. As always, division opponents are just gonna be tough. And then we go to week 13. I already talked about this slightly. We play against the Buffalo Bills. This is our 4th primetime game. Play on Monday night, which is I think our only Monday night game of the year. Actually, I just want to say this real quick. I'm surprised that Saints game is not a primetime game. That's shocking. But the Bills at home. I think at home we can handle them. Also on the road, I think that would be like a really competitive game. It'd be like super close, honestly. But I think at home we should be able to handle them pretty well. Josh Allen, I don't think he'll be able to handle our pass rush or anything. They did get Stephon Diggs the offseason. Their defense is still great. I don't know. They were a playoff team last year. They lost to the Texans. I don't know. I don't know about the Bills. I'm kind of worried for them this year. It all depends on Josh Allen, really, if he can develop into like a true franchise quarterback. He's technically a franchise quarterback right now, but is he going to be the franchise? I just don't know. But then, so yeah, that's the Bills, and they also got Zach Moss. They have a good run game. They're probably gonna ground and pound a lot. They have a good offensive line. They have a good defense. They're pretty similar to Green Bay, just like a watered down version of them with a 10 times worse quarterback. But we'll see how that game goes. The Bills are a pretty competitive team. They usually play pretty competitive. They're similar to Seattle, not really. There's like worse. There's like a worse version of like good teams, like great teams. All right, enough about the Bills. Let's go to week 14. We play against the Washington Redskins at home. That should be an easy game. Dwayne Haskins, this is his 2nd year. He's going to develop. We'll see how he ends up progressing throughout the year. See if he's going to end up being the franchise quarterback for Washington, or if they go like 2-14, they have to draft Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or whoever the quarterbacks this class are. Trey Lance, I think, is a guy. But the Redskins, I feel like we should be able to handle them. Chase Young will give us a battle. That's the Trent Williams revenge game. Remember that. Trent Williams, we traded for him. That'll be the revenge game, and hopefully he can. I'm assuming they'll probably swap him to be on like McGlinchey, but Chase Young battling against either of our tackles is just gonna be a good battle there. And I just think that'll be an easy win. I'm just gonna say that outright. And then week 15 in our primetime game, we travel to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Now this will be an interesting game. By the way, if you didn't know, let's play the NFC East and the AFC East this year for our division opponents, or the divisions we play. Anyways, at Dallas in week 15, on a Sunday night, prime time yet again, our third Sunday night game on this schedule. And I think the Cowboys, I don't know. I really don't know what to think about Dallas. Dak, I don't think he's technically signed his contract yet. They retained Amari Cooper and lost Byron Jones in return. I don't know if they got better or worse. Well, they got better on offense. They have CD, they have Michael Gallup, they have Amari Cooper. Excuse me. They have Zeke still. They have a good offensive line. Even though Travis Frederick retired, they still have a good offensive line, no matter what Cowboys fans say. It's all up to Dak. I think Dak. I think he's a little overhated. Dak doesn't deserve all the hate he gets. I do. I guess I technically hate on Dak a little bit. I'm gonna do like a top 10 quarterbacks video soon. I'm gonna do like honorable mentions. He'll be in the honorable mentions section, not the top 10. But Dak's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's not worth 40 million or 38 or whatever the hell he's asking for, but he's still a good quarterback. And we'll see how he does with all these weapons around him now. And the defense is what I'm really worried about, because DeMarcus Lawrence kind of fell off last year after getting all that money they held out for. They lost Byron Jones, and I think they'll be okay. I just don't know how Dallas will do next year. They couldn't win last year when the NFC East was literally garbage, and it's just Cowboys scare me. But they do have a new coach, of course. They got rid of Jason Garrett. They got Mike McCarthy. I don't know if that's even an upgrade, because McCarthy, his last years in Green Bay were rough. But we'll see. Dallas, it's going to be a competitive game. It's in Dallas, in Jerry's World. It's always going to be hard to play in that stadium. It's just a hard stadium to play in. Especially, it was designed wrong. I learned that a few days ago. It was designed, or a few weeks ago, it was designed wrong. That's like backwards or something. It's so weird. But that's the Cowboys week 15. Then week 16, this is weird. We are playing 26th or the 27th. Don't know why, but that'll be against the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona, in Phoenix. And again, as I already said about Arizona, it will depend on how Kyler Murray develops. And this is interesting because we played him in week 1 and then week 16. So we'll see how the whole season progresses, how either of our teams get better or get worse throughout the season, how we'll live up to the hype or not live up to the hype. So we'll see how that game ends up going. It might end up being a really easy game. It might end up being an extremely hard game. We'll find out when that game comes around. Obviously, they'll find out when all these games come around. But Dallas specifically, from week 1 to week 16, we'll see how both teams just change and develop. And then week 17, yet again, we play against the Seattle Seahawks in the final week of the season. I am not, my heart rate will not be very happy about that. But the third day of the new year, we play against the Seattle Seahawks. It's going to be a competitive game as always. We are at least at home, but even against Seattle, it really doesn't mean anything. It's the Seahawks. They can beat us anywhere. They could beat us in Jerry's World if they wanted to. But then again, we can also beat them in Jerry's World if we wanted to. So it's always going to be a competitive game against Seattle and Russell Wilson. We'll see how that game goes. We played week 8, so it's like 8-week difference. And it's going to be a good game. It'll probably have significant playoff implications as it did last year. And the rivalry continues. But now that we've gone through the schedule, I'm going to go ahead and give just quick predictions, just off the top of my head, what I think will happen this year. Week 1, at home against the Cardinals, and we give us a win there, because pretty much just because we're at home. But I can see us losing that game as well, because if the Cardinals live up to the hype that they have with Hopkins, they have Josh Jones now, they have Isaiah Simmons, they have a better team. They just got a lot better, and if they live up to the hype and they somehow beat us week 1, that would be a scary start to the season. But I do have us winning that one, just like off the top of my head. Week 2 and 3 against the Jets and Giants in both games in New Jersey, the same exact stadium. We're winning those. I don't think there's any question about that, really. The Jets, that might be a little competitive, but I don't think they have this. I don't think they have enough firepower to keep up with us. And the Giants are just a bad team, in my opinion. I think those are 2 easy wins. Philadelphia, that will be a tough game at prime time. We are at home though, so I'm gonna give us the win there. It will be a close game though, in my opinion. I think Wentz will be able to find some holes in our defense, but it depends on how their receivers end up playing. Who they have? They have Reagor. I think Jeffrey's coming back now. I have no idea. Their receiving core is whack. They have Marquise Goodwin. That'll be a revenge game. We have to watch out for that. But I still think we could beat the Eagles in prime time. With us being at home, I think it's a better. I would win that one. And week 5 against Miami, if they're going to win that one, I don't think Miami's ready yet to make that jump quite yet. They have to build a better offensive line for Tua. Honestly, by this point, Tua might just be hurt. He might be starting Fitzpatrick. For all we know, Fitzpatrick had one of those games where he goes for 500 yards and 7 touchdowns. But in my opinion, just like looking at just blank slate, just guessing pretty much. I haven't looked like into any of these rosters yet, or into how I think the team will play really. I looked how the team will play, like the Niners, but I haven't looked at any of these teams except for the Niners. But just off first glance, I think we win that one. Week 6 against the Rams again. I think we win that one at home against the Rams on primetime again. I think we swept the Rams last year. I think we could do it again, maybe. But without being primetime game again, difficult. But I think we beat the Rams. I think they got slightly worse, but they're a good team still. It's gonna be a competitive game. At New England, I think we win that one. I don't know anything about Jarrett Stidham at all, or they end up starting Brian Hoyer for whatever reason. I don't trust him at all, as he used to play for this team, but I don't know. I just don't think the Patriots are going to be as good this year. I think they'll still be like a 10-9 win team, but I don't think they'll be able to beat like the superstar teams like the Niners or the Chiefs, or even like Seattle or New Orleans, Green Bay, teams like that. I don't think they can win those games. But it is in New England. That will be a competitive game. If I was doing like predictions, I'd have a question mark next to the Cardinals game and the Patriots game right now. At Seattle, Week 8, I'm going to give us our first loss there. At Seattle, it's just, I don't. With us coming off a game at New England, coming off primetime game against the Rams, I think we'll be a little shaken. We'll probably be a little hurt by that point. I feel like this is around a point year we'll have a few little slip-ups, and I think that we will lose to Seattle Seahawks Week 8. Especially since it's in Seattle. Week 9 against Green Bay, short week. With us being at home and with it being the Packers, we absolutely demolished. I think we will win that game. If it was the Saints, easy loss. Honestly, I don't think we could beat the Saints on a short week in New Orleans after playing the Seattle Seahawks. I just don't think that's even possible. But against Green Bay at home, I think that's possible based on how we did against Green Bay last year. But we'll see how their new scheme works out for them, if they are able to just destroy us on the ground somehow. But I think it'll be a good game. Then Week 10 at New Orleans. We have a long time of rest between that game after the Thursday night game against Green Bay. But it's just hard because I don't know if we can. We had magic last year with Kittle. It was a very close game. The Saints were the second team I was scared of most in the playoffs after Seattle. In New Orleans, I'm going to give us an L there. I don't want to just sound like a complete homer, give us W's every week, so I'm obviously going to have to give us a few L's. I'm going to give one against New Orleans in New Orleans. We don't have a long rest in between that game, but I don't know. I feel like I just have to give us something else. I do think there's an easy possibility we could lose New Orleans. But it depends how Breeze plays. Breeze might digress. We'll find out when the year starts. And then we have our bye week, of course. Then we travel to Los Angeles. I think we could beat the Rams coming off a bye week, even though it's in LA. LA isn't really that interested in either of their football teams. So I think we'll be fine. I think we can beat the Rams. Against Buffalo on Monday night. It's technically a long rest, 8 days instead of 7. But I think we can beat Buffalo at home. I just don't think Josh Allen can handle our defense, or their offensive line for that matter. I just don't think the Bills' offense can handle our defense. I think our offense can handle their defense better than they can handle it. Because they're still a good defense, but I just think ours is better. Our offense is better. I think we're a better team. And it's at home. I think we can win that one. Week 14 against the Redskins. I think, all right. Last year against the Redskins, we had that mudfest, garbage, 9-0, really disgusting football game. Actually, I really loved that game. That was so fun to watch. But if you just look at the box score, it looks disgusting. I think that this year probably won't be a mudfest or anything like that. But last year we randomly lost like the Falcons and all these good teams. Like they just the Saints lost Falcons too. I was gonna use as an example, but if everybody loses, there's like a random game to a good team. Those are just 16-0 Patriots. I think we'll lose this game to Washington. I don't think we will, but I'm just gonna throw that random loss right there. I'm just gonna give it to Washington. So that puts us at 3 losses now. At Dallas next week, I think we beat Dallas. If we lose to Dallas, I'm just gonna be upset. I'm gonna give us a W against Dallas. That is a question mark, obviously, because it's at Dallas on a primetime game. It's going to be good. We'll see how that goes. But I'm giving us the W there. I think we're better than Dallas in every way, except arguably quarterback, arguably, but every other position, I think we're better. Don't talk to me about Zeke Elliott. Week 16 at Arizona. I'm gonna give that one. I'm gonna that one. I'll give it an L. How about that? All right, 12-4. I think 12-4 is fair. I'm gonna give us the win against Seattle Week 17, by the way, because I think it's gonna be similar to that. How the same way last year, I was super competitive, and we're gonna clutch it out at the end for a playoff spot. But I think we'll lose Arizona, beat Seattle the final 2 games. So 12-4 at first glance, and I'll go further in depth later and actually scout like all these teams and see like if I actually how I actually think the schedule is gonna go. And I'll do it probably closer to regular season, but that's it. Just a video looking over Niners schedule and giving some quick predictions off the top of my head without really knowing anything about the teams too much in depth besides like their players from last year and how we played against them last year, how they played last year, and how like the Patriots lost Tom Brady. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.